What is up, homies? My name is Felix, and I am here back again with another video for you all today. And not gonna lie, this actually looks pretty cool. Anyways, today in this video, I am going to be going over the top 7 best cheap VST plugins. So as you guys may or may not know, I have a video on the best free VSTs, and I figured I'd make a video on the best cheap VSTs because these are VSTs that I use a lot, and I figured that some of you might be getting like a little bit more serious about producing, or maybe you're just interested in buying a couple plugins to kind of, you know, boost your sound game a little bit. So yeah, whatever your case may be, today I'm going to be showing you guys the top 7 free VST plugins. So yeah, before we get started, make sure you guys check out my Instagram and my SoundCloud, which will both be down in the description below, along with a playlist of songs I've produced, and my beat store and my Discord. If you guys want to check any of those things out, you are more than welcome to. And yeah, now let's get into this video. So my first kind of disclaimer for this video is that these VSTs are not in any specific order. They're kind of just all of the top 7 VSTs in general. And also I might put like 1 or 2 at the end as well that are kind of like honorable mentions, or maybe ones that are like a little bit more expensive. Which brings me to my next little disclaimer, which is that these plugins, I say that they're cheap plugins, they're basically around like $20. They're in like the $20 range. So yeah, I don't think any of these plugins on this list are going to be above like $25 US dollars, that is. So yeah, they're all pretty cheap, pretty reasonably priced, I would say. I am using FL Studio to show you guys all these plugins, but you can literally use these plugins with whatever DAW that you want. Alright, so before we get into the list of plugins, I just wanted to add this in for all the maybe first time plugin buyers, because obviously, you know, you want to be very careful about where you're spending your money on the internet, because anybody could be a hacker or a scammer or whatever. So yeah, the 2 websites that I buy my plugins from that I know are safe and reliable websites are number 1, Plugin Boutique, which that's where I've probably bought the majority of my plugins from, and then also ADSR Sounds. That's where I've gotten the other portion of all my plugins from. So yeah, those are the 2 websites that I use. There's probably also other websites that you can buy plugins from as well. Like, you can always buy the plugin from the actual manufacturer website too. That will be suitable. But yeah, those are the 2 websites that I know for sure are safe. And all of the plugins on this list you can get from those 2 sites as well. So yeah. So without any further ado, let's get into number 1. Alright, so for the first plugin, you guys know I had to start out with Expand, which most of you probably already know about. So Expand 2 by Air Music Technology is normally like $80, but most people know that it's usually on sale for like 15 bucks. So technically the real price is like $80, but this thing has been on sale for 15 for like probably like a year now, or possibly more, I don't even know. And I know I said that these are not in any particular order, but if I had to pick a number 1, Expand would be number 1. It's so versatile. You can use it for literally any genre of music. There's a ton of different presets in here as well, so you'll probably never run out of new things to play around with. I use this plugin in like a very large percentage of all my beats. So basically the way it works is that right here on the left side, you have these little like preset selectors. You can click on this right here and it will bring up all of the different categories of sounds, and then if you hover over the different categories, it will show you all of the different actual presets. So this is really awesome. As you can see, there's like 27 different categories that you can choose from, and it'll have a bunch of different presets underneath there. I love to use the strings. The strings sound really good. Also all of the like pads and the action pads and stuff like that. Also, I really like the leads in here as well. The leads sound super nice. The one thing I'm not the biggest fan of is the bells, to be honest. I just don't really like the way the bells sound. They don't really fit with my like kind of style, I guess you could say. But either way, as you can see, a ton of different presets. Then also you can go in here and look at the different parameters that you can adjust as well. So if you go to A, it'll obviously show you whatever preset you have on A, and then you can adjust like the filter, and it changes depending on what preset you choose. But yeah, that's pretty cool. You have a little bit of freedom with like the sound design, I guess you could say. And then also the easy just adjusts the, you know, attack, decay, release, blah blah blah, all that other stuff, and that stays the same no matter what preset you have on. Also, another thing that I didn't realize for a really long time, and so I'm sure a couple of you might not know about this, if you click down here, it'll show you a lot more presets than they have inside of here, because it has a bunch of presets that are like different sounds combined. So right here you can see this preset has like 3 different sounds combined to make it like a whole new preset. So yeah, that's pretty cool as well. Like I said, you'll probably never run out of sounds with this plugin here. Alright, so the next plugin we have here is Hybrid 3, and this is another one by Air Music Technology. Again, you know, similar situation with Expand, where this plugin is actually like $150, but it's also like always on sale for around $15. So yeah, if for whatever reason it's not, just wait around until maybe like Christmas time or something like that, and it'll be back on sale. And the sounds in this plugin are quite different from the ones in Expand. So the sounds in Expand are a little bit more like realistic sounding, I guess you could say, but these sounds are a lot more robotic, and I could see this plugin being used for like EDM music and stuff like that, but I honestly use it a lot as well. But if you're doing like trap music and stuff like that, you kind of just have to sift through a little bit more to find sounds that will fit kind of the like trap style. But yeah, basically there's, again, a bunch of different categories and a bunch of different presets as well. There's a lot of really good bass sounds in here. There's a lot of really good like bell sounds, I would say. There's a lot of good leads. Also, the thing that I like about this plugin is that you can change the waveforms a lot more than you can in Expand. In Expand, you can change certain parameters and stuff, but in here you can literally change the waveform. So if you go to the little oscillators at the top, you can change it to wavetable, and then inside wavetable you can click on any one of these different presets and it'll give you like a different wave. And then also you can change the shape, which will make it look a little bit different, and then also you can change the pitch and stuff like that. And this will basically give you like a whole new sound, and if you want to, you can like save your own presets and stuff and essentially create entirely new sounds. And I think that's a pretty dope thing to be able to do inside like a relatively cheap plugin. Here's a couple of the sounds just to give you guys a little bit of a preview. So yeah, I know that's not really showing off everything the plugin has to offer, but either way, if you guys are interested in getting a plugin, I would totally recommend this one as well. Alright, so this next plugin, I'm willing to bet that you guys probably don't know about this one, and this one is called Elite Pianist, and this one is by Angelic Vibes Software, and I think these are the same people who make Iota Mini, which is a really good free plugin if you guys want to go check that out. But yeah, Elite Pianist is $15 on ADSR Sounds, and I just got this like a couple weeks back, but I love this plugin a lot. As you can see in here, there's a bunch of different awesome piano sounds, and they're all super different, and you can even add like little Rhodes, and you can add some strings and stuff, and you can also add some vinyl cracking noises, which is super cool if you want to do some lo-fi stuff. So yeah, I love this plugin. I think it's super awesome. Here's just a couple of the sounds that are in it. But yeah, the one thing about this plugin is that it is mostly just different types of keys. Some of them do kind of sound like bells. Some of them do sound kind of like different mallet sort of instruments. But either way, mostly kind of like keys based. But if you're into that kind of thing and those are the kind of sounds that you like, those are the kind of sounds that you want, I think this plugin is super good. And also, this is kind of just like a plugin that I would recommend anybody have, because there's tons of different little piano sounds in here that I think could spark your creativity and help you make some pretty dope beats. So yeah, totally would recommend this plugin, Elite Pianist. Go check it out if you want to. And now let's get into the next plugin. Alright, so for number 4, we're going to have Vacuum Pro. Another one by Air Music Technology. You'll probably be seeing them at least like once or twice more in this video. You'll notice a similar trend with their plugins. Vacuum Pro is normally $150, quote unquote, but it's normally on sale for about $15, kind of like the other ones. But anyway, so Vacuum Pro is a really good plugin for if you're trying to make like kind of grittier type of beats. A lot of the sounds are a lot more harder and a lot more like grungy, I guess you could say. As you can hear by some of these sounds. So if there's a sound that's hitting like way too hard, what I'll do is I'll turn the attack up, and then, you know, maybe if I need to adjust the sustain or something like that, I'll do that. But most of the time I don't really mess with anything other than just that and just the, you know, preset selector. So yeah, like I said, if you're making like kind of grittier, harder type of beats, this might be the plugin for you. Alright, so next up on my list I have Mini Grand, and this plugin is again from Air Music Technology. As you might have guessed, it's technically $80, but it's usually always on sale for around $20. And I bought this plugin when I was in search of a very good piano VST that's more on the cheaper side, and this is what I came across. And this is probably honestly the best cheap piano VST that you can possibly find. There's a bunch of different presets in here. So there's like the normal ones, and there's the ones where they change them a little bit. Oh my god. Obviously, all the piano presets sound a little bit different, but for the most part, they're all really, really high quality sounding, and they'll fit whatever kind of realistic piano sound you're looking for. As you can hear, the piano sounds very good, very realistic, very nice sounding, if I say so myself. So yeah, if you're interested in a nice piano VST, I would totally check this one out. Alright, so the next plugin on the list is TapeX, or I think it's now called Tape Piano, but when I bought it, it was called TapeX. But this plugin is a really, really good one. This is a little bit similar to Elite Pianist, the one that I showed you guys earlier. But this is by a company called Thenatan, I think, or something. I don't exactly know how to say that. But yeah, this plugin is around $15. I think it's a little bit under $15. However, there is a Tape Piano bundle, which gives you a lot more presets and stuff, and that's around $30. So yeah, I said this plugin is similar to Elite Pianist, but however, they are very different in kind of the style, but it's a lot of keys. So they have like this kind of sound. This is probably my favorite preset in the whole plugin here. This is called Other Room 2. Also, they have just kind of regular sounding pianos as well. Like this one right here is pretty normal sounding. So yeah, this is a pretty cool plugin. There's a couple different features here, a couple different parameters you can mess around with. There's the reverb, and then there's the filter, and you can choose whether you want a low pass or high pass. But honestly, I don't mess around with a lot of these. I usually just take the kind of like raw presets that they give you and just use those. Also, these keys could be very good for like lo-fi type of beats and stuff like that. I got this plugin quite a while ago, and I've used it in a bunch of beats since then. And it's a very, very handy plugin to kind of have in your back pocket. Alright, so for the last VST on this list, I gotta put Halftime on here. And Halftime is gonna be the only effect VST that I have in here. And it's about $12 on ADSR Sounds. And basically what Halftime does is it takes your melody and it slows it down essentially and gives it kind of a new feel and a new vibe. And if you guys know about Gross Beat, it does kind of the same thing that Gross Beat does, except for Gross Beat is $100 and Halftime is $12. So a very, very nice alternative to Gross Beat. So like if you don't have FL Studio, or maybe you have like a cheaper edition of FL Studio that doesn't come with Gross Beat, Halftime could be a really good alternative for you. So yeah, here's just a basic melody that I made with Elite Pianist. But that's not too important. What is important is how it sounds with Halftime on it. So yeah, as you can hear, much darker vibe, very cool sound. You can also basically change the section of the melody that you want to be half-timed. So if I want to make it like a fourth of a bar, you can do this. So yeah, that's really cool, and that gives it a different effect. Also, you can do like this, which I think this is like triplets or something. Very different sound as well. But yeah, there's definitely a few different options that you can play around with inside of Halftime to get your melody to have a totally different vibe. And I think this is a super cool, super dope plugin that I would totally recommend everybody try out. Alright, so right now I'm going to go into a couple little honorable mentions because I figured I would put in just, you know, a few extra ones just in case everybody had already heard of these plugins or something. So the first honorable mention is kind of like 5 different plugins, and they're all the plugins by Dark Silence Software, and you can find all these on ADSR Sounds. But again, this is the same type of scenario where they price it higher, but it's always on sale basically. And there's a bunch of different ones actually. There's a Dark Grand Piano VST, there's a Dark Kalimba, there's a Dark Tongue Drum, which is basically like a steel drum, I think. But yeah, either way, I'm grouping kind of these all together because these are the only plugins that I'm putting on my list that I don't actually have yet. But however, these are going to be the next plugins that I buy because they seem like they're really, really good quality, and I could get a lot of use out of them because they are, I think, oriented more towards like trap music and those type of beats. So I do really like that, and I'm really interested in trying out these plugins. Another honorable mention is Union by Soundspot, and this is, I think, another one of those ones that's like on sale. sale for, I think last time I checked it was like $15. And this plugin is an honorable mention because I don't really use it very often, and a lot of the sounds in here are really not very good in my opinion. But there's a couple nice sounds here and there when you kind of look through and search a little bit. But also, like, just look at the way it kind of loads up. Like, maybe this is just my computer, but it loads up really weirdly, and it's just not the greatest quality plugin. Alright, so also in the honorable mention section, we have Isotope Iris, and the reason this is honorable mention is because I think now it's actually back up to like 100 or 150 or something dollars, but when I got it, it was like 10 or 15. It was on sale, so it might go back on sale, it might not, but this has a lot of really nice sounding sounds and presets. And there's like this is like the synth section where I think you can adjust the parameters a little bit more, and then there's also in here like a sampler section, which I think is pretty cool. So yeah, this plugin is super nice, and I use it somewhat frequently, but also like it's a plugin that I kind of forget that I have. Alright, now last on the honorable mentions, but definitely not least, is Purity by Sonic Cat, and this is a plugin that's like $50, which is why I put it in the honorable mentions, because it's a little bit more expensive than all of the other ones. But however, it's not like $8 million like Nexus and Omnisphere and all those other plugins. So yeah, Purity in my opinion is like one of those essential plugins for producers, like once you start taking producing a little bit more seriously. As you can see, there is a ton of different sounds. This is just the pianos. You can go to the strings, there's more sounds. There's like bass guitars, guitar and pluck sounds. There's like 3 different sections of synths. This is one of the first plugins I actually bought, I think, and I do not regret the decision to buy it because I use it very frequently, and it's probably one of my favorite plugins, to be honest. So yeah, that's going to do it for me in this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Let me know if I missed any plugins. Let me know like what your favorite cheap VST plugin is, or just your favorite VST plugin in general, because I'm always down to try out new stuff. I love messing around with new plugins and new sounds and stuff like that, because it's always good to keep an open mind about that kind of stuff. So yeah, make sure you guys check out my Instagram and my SoundCloud down in the description below, along with the playlist of songs I've produced, my beat store, and my Discord, all down there if you want to go check it out. And I will see you guys next time.
Baby, come follow me. We could go somewhere far away. Baby, come home with me.